What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the story of a producer who helped shape the sound of early 2000s hip-hop, crafted some of Jay-Z's most iconic tracks, inspired Kanye, and still doesn't get the recognition he deserves. We're talking about none other than Bink, aka Roosevelt Harold III, the Virginia legend behind the Blueprint, and so much more. Bink came up in Norfolk, Virginia, same region that gave us Timbaland, Pharrell, and Missy Elliott. But while those names were redefining pop and R&B, Bink was locked in on the soulful, gritty sound of East Coast hip-hop. He started producing in the early 90s, cutting his teeth on local acts before getting his first major placement in 1996, working with Teddy Riley and producing on Blackstreet's Don't Leave Me. Yeah, that's right. His first big break was helping craft one of the smoothest R&B joints of the decade. From there, Bink started making noise for his versatility. But while those names were redefining pop and R&B, Bink was locked in on the soulful, gritty sound of East Coast hip-hop. He started producing in the early 90s, cutting his teeth on local acts before getting his first major placement. So what exactly makes a Bink beat a Bink with Teddy Riley? It's that blend of soulful samples, big cinematic drums, and a certain emotion. Like he's not just chopping loops, he's building entire moves. So what exactly makes a sample that feels warm and nostalgic? It's that blend of soulful samples with these crazy cinematic drums through the mix. And a certain take Jay-Z's like The Ruler's not back, just chopping the horns, he's the swing, the bass line. It feels royal, but still grimy. Or 1-900 Hustler. Those chops sound like motivation itself. What's wild is his sound has that same DNA as Kanye and Just Blaze, but Bink was doing it right alongside them. In fact, he's one of the main architects of that Roc-A-Fella soul sound we all associate with Jay-Z's golden era. By the early 2000s, Bink had linked up with Roc-A-Fella Records, and this is where his legacy really took off. In 2001, Jay-Z dropped The Blueprint, one of the most celebrated hip-hop albums ever. And guess what? Bink produced 3 of its standout tracks. The Ruler's Back, All I Need, and Mama Loves Me. That's not just filler. That's the backbone of the whole album's tone. And here's the thing, everyone talks about Kanye and Just Blaze when they talk about The Blueprint, but Bink was right there, setting the tone before the world even knew who Kanye was. He once said he felt like his contributions were overlooked, that he built part of that Roc-A-Fella sound before others got credit for it. And honestly, he's not wrong. Listen to All I Need. It's soul-heavy, emotional, introspective, the blueprint for the blueprint. After The Blueprint, Bink didn't slow down. He started producing for everyone. Freeway, Beanie Sigel, Rick Ross, Kanye West, and even Dr. Dre. His track with Rick Ross, Cigar Music, that's luxury rap at its finest. Strings, bass, and drums that sound like a Maybach on wax. Then there's Kanye's Devil in a New Dress. Crazy story, Bink said Kanye heard that beat playing from a laptop speaker in Hawaii, fell in love instantly, and the rest is history. It became one of the most beautiful, dramatic songs on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. And let's not forget Bink also had a hand in Dr. Dre's Compton album in 2015, producing It's All on Me. That's 2 decades of relevance, still crafting cinematic, emotional hip-hop records that hit. Here's the thing though. Despite all those credits, Bink isn't exactly a household name. He's what you'd call a producer's producer, the guy other beatmakers look up to. In interviews, he's been honest about feeling underappreciated, saying how people often overlook his impact on the Roc-A-Fella sound or confuse his style with others. But instead of chasing clout, he stayed focused on the craft. He's not dropping beat packs for TikTok producers or doing flashy collabs. He's making timeless music. And if you talk to real heads, the Just Blazes, the Alchemists, the Hit Boys, they all respect Bink as one of the coldest ever to touch an MPC. So what's Bink's legacy in hip-hop? He proved that you can be soulful and hard at the same time. He bridged the gap between the smooth, sample-heavy East Coast vibe and that big cinematic sound you hear today. You can hear his influence in producers like Hit Boy, Justice League, Cardiac, even Kanye, that lush soul mixed with heavy drums. That's the Bink formula. And when you listen back, his work aged incredibly well. The Ruler's Back still bangs. Devil in a New Dress still gives chills. And newer artists are still studying his drums, his sample layering, his swing. Even today, Bink is still active. He's been mentoring young producers, dropping snippets on IG, and cooking up with new artists. He's shown he can evolve with the times, using newer gear and still keeping that analog soul alive. In an era where producers chase trends, Bink still chases feeling. He's proof that authenticity doesn't expire. So next time you hear someone talk about the golden age of Rockefeller or you bump the blueprint, remember, behind those classic beats is a man named Bink, one of hip-hop's most unsung heroes. Drop a comment below. What's your favorite Bink beat? Hear some songs you have to hear from Bink. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.